Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Wake up, 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 wake up.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the Guy.
Hey.
It seems this culture's not your reality. You better unplug or be a casualty. Because the drug and influence is keeping us off from our greatness. We got to stop hating. Front pages.
Yep.
Death to building our wealth. We moving it stealth.
Thanks for joining us.
Till there's nothing left. And teaching my people to love themselves. I'm crashing on competition. That's an interference with the commission. Man, we tired of listening, so we standing up. Unification.
It's time to wake up, y'all.
Wake up, 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 wake up.
Fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Happening right now on this first day of October.
Yeah, man.
Wednesday, first day of October. It's the first of the month.
First of the month.
You know what that means? The rent is due.
My pockets. My back.
But thank you. Thanks for coming back on to the show. Fresh edition is happening today. Of course, you've seen a little earlier already that we're going to have some special guests in the house today. Our special guest, Sherman Wells. That's the reason why we started off with his wake up song.
Hey, Big Sherm.
Big Sherm, Untamed. Also, Jason Witmer is going to join us today from ACLU a little bit later on in the show. So stick around for both of those interviews. It's going to be some good ones, right along the lines of some of the things we've been talking about all week already.
Yeah.
And I just want to, first of all, give a shout out to everybody who joined us on Monday for Monday's show to speak to Brother Kasim, which was, man, it feels like a while ago now, but it was just
48 hours.
48 hours. And if you guys been peeping the news, you've been seeing us all over the place. They've been jacking some of the interview and running it on their news channels as if they were the ones that did it. So,
Well, you seen our work, but you might not have seen us. Well,
we see everybody come in the chat this morning. Good morning to everyone. Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning. Leah Keystro, what's up Wednesday? Mama Guy said good morning, fam. Marlon Harrison is saying happy hump day, everyone. Heather Williams giving us a good morning. Appreciate y'all. RG's up early. Morning, y'all. Karen Warner's in the chat. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Appreciate you. Mark Manor says, I am awake. We waking up around here for sure. RG says officially in Michael Myers season. Yep, it is officially October. You know what that means for a whole lot of folks. Arrows 402 says, hit the like button, please do that. Good morning to you, Mayor Sanchez. And Kimmer Snipe says, I imagine it will be a packed Omaha 360. Omaha 360 meeting today. For sure. It says people love to show up for the drama. This is true. Hitting the 360 meetings all the time, the hard work that goes in the consistent meeting each week and making some progress sometimes gets overshadowed by some of the drama, some of the things that go down, and when it gets lively in there. And it's just how it works sometimes. But shout out to the people that are grinding every week. Kimber Snipe's been going weekly for probably years now. On if you don't know what the 360 meetings are, Empowerment Network puts on a meeting each week where the community can come out and talk to law enforcement. They get together and try to figure out how to solve crimes, how to solve issues in the neighborhood. They do a lot. They do a lot for community relations. So you could take advantage of that by going to these 360 meetings and, letting your voice be heard the way that we want your voice to be heard on this show.
Man, it's all the same. So that's about.
That's what it's about. Again, fresh edition. I see Linda Lathan in the chat. Good morning. Good morning to you. It is 7:04 already, and we are fresh into this thing. Before we get started, man, just want to check in with you, buddy. How you doing over there?
Man, I'm doing good. Man, feeling inspired. Of course, the fire is still burning within from the last couple of episodes. Took the time to watch last night several addresses on the UN. Burkina Faso, man, set it on fire. So I'm just kind of I'm feeling high from that, if you will. Just recognizing what's going on the national or international stage, if you will. Just pushing for peace, man. People are tired of this colonialism. People are tired of the same things we talk about here on the show are the same things that people are dealing with abroad, as far as oppressive forces and over militarization and all these things. So yeah, man, just We here.
You gave it to him soft this time. And before the show, you was like, the death of colonialism is calming down.
Down with the empire. Down with the empire.
Gave it to him soft this time. That's all right. We're gonna get into it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got 2 hours for that.
That's right. Alan Faison gives us a good morning first sky. Right on, right on. Kimber Snipe says I won't get started today. I'll save it from my Facebook. Okay.
Okay.
What you got going on?
Yeah.
Katie L says good morning all. Thank you, Paul and Buddy, for amplifying voices of our community. Thank you.
We're trying. Yeah,
trying to do that for sure.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Lots of moves, lots of changes, lots of things happening. I'm sorry about I had to do a new setup here, so if my sound is off, let us know.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like I'm distorting all over the place. I'm trying to adjust as I go, but yeah, I'm doing good. I think things are about to settle down just in life in general here. So I can get back to focusing on the things we got to focus on, which is our event coming up, Fun Fest.
Hey.
First Sky Omaha Fun Fest. This is our inaugural gala, basically, that we're doing, fundraiser and celebration. Don't want to call it a gala. We're not really getting dressed up and doing the whole thing. But it is a happy hour fundraiser and celebration that we're going to put together, that we're putting together on Saturday, October 18th, 2025, from 5:30 to 7:30, happy hours at the Omaha Press Club. We'll have some hors d'oeuvres and a few drinks, and talk a little bit about what's going on with strategic communication, which is our lane.
Hey.
And celebrate people that are in this space doing the work. The Sherman Wells, the Melissa Wrights, the people that are trying to disseminate information and really kind of engage with the community. So we'll have an award ceremony there too. We got a lot going on this night, so be looking in your inbox for invites. And if you're not getting a specific invite, it's because we're inviting the people that are in media, but we want everybody else to come. Chad Chimers, everybody else that want to come through as well. So there is an Eventbrite link that you can hit as well in order to register. And we'll put that in the chat. But mark your calendars there. Fun Fest is going down October 18th. We'll get some more information to you soon. For real. You already had the link if you have the weekly wrap newsletter that we put together every Friday. So I saw some people who got the weekly wrap that registered. Thank you. Appreciate it very much. Come on in.
Big shout out.
Big shout out. Also, we're working on this video series called Lanes of Change. So as we're talking about some of the work that we're doing, Lanes of Change, Elements of Revolution is going down. Our latest episode was more of our conversation with Brother Ewing. If you, Mary Ewing, put some respect on his name. If you haven't checked this out yet, please go to YouTube and do so. Like and subscribe, all those things. Check out what he has to say. I see a couple people told me that they watched this a few times, came back with some takeaways and wanted to talk about them. So
nice.
We'll definitely do that. We got more of his conversation on the way as well for the third installment for elements of lanes of change. That's coming up very soon too. So watch out for that. Hit the bell on YouTube so you can be notified when those come through. And we'll talk more about them as we go. So appreciate that very much. Also, October is coming up, and we're gonna have to talk about these lead remediation process. We're actually gonna have somebody in from the city in the next pretty soon here as a guest to talk about the efforts. They've been going through this for some years now. We're a super fun site, which is a site that is highly concentrated lead because of the smelting companies that used to be in our area. And so we're still battling to try to get that out of our soil. One day we'll be able to have every house in North Omaha be able to grow something out of the front yard without worrying about it. Yeah, the dream is alive.
Man,
so
revolutionary thought.
It really is, like as soon as somebody said, why we got grass in the front yard and not growing food, it just made total sense.
you gotta cut it and tend to it every week. Anyway,
every week, just a fruitless. Now every time I'm pushing that lawnmower, I'm just like, we just doing nothing. We just wasting time.
Man, I could be tilling soil. I could be pulling produce.
So many things going on. Shout out to our partners over there at Heart Ministry Center. They got a lawyer in the city, free legal clinic happening every second Friday of most months. They got one coming up October 3rd. So in 2 days, if you want to check in with them, definitely check them out at Heart Ministry Center. It's going to be on the second floor. And if you have any kind of questions like divorce, custody, wills, power of attorney, civil lawsuits, they can answer some questions and send you in the right direction for what kind of legal help you might need. So this is the free legal clinic. This is for people that can't really call up and put a lawyer on retainer to ask a bunch of questions. So I highly suggest you go and take advantage of this. Next one is the 3rd of October. So check them out at Heart Ministry Centers and shout out to them for doing the work, for doing what they're doing
Man, big
in a big
time.
way. We'll save some more of the community events that's going on, some of the things that's happening in the community. If you have anything in the community going on that we need to know about, let us know. Put it in the chat or put it in our group page, Friends of First Sky Omaha, and we'll peep it out there. In the meantime, between time, just want to throw it over to Buddy. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about today before we get to our guests. What's today's
Yes,
first?
actually a jam-packed day, as Paul mentioned earlier. We do have a couple of guests coming through. My man Big Sherman Wells of Untamed, and also Mr. Jason Witmer of ACLU of Nebraska coming through to speak with us about the work that they are doing over there. So definitely, strap in, get ready for a pretty interesting couple of conversations today. In the meantime, between time, also several news stories we want to make you aware of. Also. At OEDC again making some changes to their plan. Shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney, my brother Gary, and everybody over there at the Inland Port Authority. Trying to make things happen, and it seems like things are going in the right direction with this newest update from the OEDC. And again, their push for the airport business park looks like some individuals are able to breathe a sigh of relief, if you will. So we'll dive into that. On the flip side, however, there are individuals who are still waiting in the wings to see what decision will be made by city council, talking about our homeless, houseless brothers and sisters, or who are still waiting to figure out what's going to happen with their encampments. Again, there's supposed to be a vote yesterday, and that has been postponed to later this month. So we'll kind of dive into the details of that. Also happening in news, shout out to Nebraska Examiner reporting on what's going on school side. Of course, Trump still putting pressure and influencing what's happening in Nebraska, this time to the tune of the private school tax credit, which again, many voters actually voted against. And yet still we have our elected officials going against the will of the people, which we'll be talking about throughout today's show. But here we have it. Again, Nebraska opting into a federal tax credit program. Also, speaking of pilling, going along with the ICE situation, it seems like Midwestern states, we kind of already talked about earlier this week, or I think last week, about the 28G program, which again is deputizing and federalizing local departments throughout the state. And again, we're seeing ICE activities ramp up throughout the nation. We'll be talking about what's going on in Oregon a little later on in the show. But before that, diving into what's going on right in our own backyard. Des Moines, again, the superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools announcing that he will step down after being detained by ICE agents. If you haven't heard about that story, we'll dive into that. And also speaking of stepping down, again, figure out what's going on with this government. Again, government shutdown, many agents, government officials, employees being asked to step down from their positions. Actually, some whispers of permanent stepping down. Again, 750,000 federal employees possibly being laid off by Trump. So again, all that and more throughout the next 2 hours. Of course, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, because there's a lot going on. Again, a lot going on, both domestically and internationally. So again, feel free to chime into the chat. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo.
About 15 minutes into this thing. What's the word?
Man, just really appreciate everybody that's joining us this early in the morning already. Do us a favor, share the show if you're on Facebook. Let's get as many people in talking about it as we can. And yeah, let's just have a good time having a good conversation. Anything that you are thinking of as well, you can always put in the chat. You guys know how our chat goes. Just want to reiterate that since we got a lot of new people in the chat. This is not your normal chat. You don't just get to come in here and be a troll and be anonymous. We have a club, a group here called the Chat Chimers. We are all here and they're regulars. They come back, they offer good comments, questions for our guests. We're very respectful of each other. And even when we have differences of opinion, we try to refrain from name calling and acting how people act in the chat sometimes. So we have a very different chat here, and we encourage you to be a part of it. And just think of it as we're speaking face to face. What would you say to each individual face to face? How would you speak to them? And let's try to be respectful, because our point here is not really to be controversial and to have a bunch of adversarial stuff going on, but actually to get down to some solidarity and get down to some way that we can all, even with differences of opinion, still reach the same goals. So I just want to reiterate that before we get going. Sean McCarthy in the chat saying morning, First Sky fam. Appreciate you.
Hey,
Replenish
peace,
the
peace.
vocalist is in the chat saying good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning. Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning. Appreciate y'all coming in this morning.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's up, Auntie?
Sounds like a good group going on here. So we'll get into it. It's 7:15 right now. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back and jump into the conversation. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, my name.
Hey,
Buddy the guy.
Colby.
That's him over there. It's going down, y'all. It's going down. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Oh, hold up. We already played that. We gotta play something else now.
Hey, I mean, you can hit him with a double dose. Wake on up.
I need a different kind of wake up.
Okay, hey, take us right near the beach then.
I need to get right near the beach. Exactly.
Hey.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the Gawd. All of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, monitoring spirits. We know you're out there checking us out. We appreciate you very much. As a matter of fact, Buddy got up hot this morning. Like, how are we going to use all our clips and everything on all the news channels and not shout us out, man? KMTV is a local podcast. You better put some respect on the name for real.
All right, put some respect on our name.
Put some respect on our name.
RG, yeah, call it what it is. Swagger Jackers. Swagger Jackers. Yeah, talk about
how y'all feel about the Swagger Jackets from Monday? All the folks that grab show content without the express written consent of First Sky Omaha in the morning. Exactly.
Come on, man. Come on, man. And I ain't even tripping about the written consent. We understand. We use people's content as well. But again, attribution. Can we get into attribution?
And look, if you don't know what attribution is, every time Buddy starts a story, he says, "This is from KMTV Channel 7," and then he starts the story. At least say the name. Put some respect on the name.
Come on, man. And quite honestly, it takes less work to say First Sky than to say a local podcast. Come on, man. Stop playing with us. Bruh, stop playing.
RG, they took Brother Kasim's face, they cropped us out, they cropped the name out and everything. Try to make it act like they did the thing. They did the interview. That's funny.
Man, and they weren't the only ones. We see it. Monitoring spirits. Keep watching though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, use it. That's what we're here for, to get the story straight. But next time use our name.
Man, all you gotta do is say the name, bro. Like, where did it come from? That's all. It's professional courtesy.
Man, maybe the folks want to see the full interview. We did other stuff,
Y'all major outlets will be getting a strongly worded letter for sure.
Yeah. And again, just to point, hammer the point home. To let y'all know it's all love. We're inviting your journalists to the Fun Fest. Like, we're trying to show love for all the news. Yeah, come on, man. Get it together.
Shout out to ACLU. Jason Witmer is the only one that shouted out.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, though. Mark Manor said Channel 3, I think one of them had your name on there. Okay. I'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Heather Williams says, I was so annoyed they could have given some credit. I mean, you could at least said the name. Come on, bro. Man. We'll get into it. Everybody right is in the chat. Good morning. Says Trump OPPD will also likely keep the North Omaha power plant running on coal for the foreseeable future. Anthony Rogers Wright, our resident environmental activist, is reminding us about what's going on there. We've got meetings with OPPD. Every time we talk to anybody, elected officials now, we're like, what's going on with the OPPD thing? Because when we left off on it, as a matter of fact, Brother Anthony Rogers Wright was the reason why Dr. Cornell West was in town, standing in front of the coal plant, like, shame on you, Nebraska. And what was that, 2 years ago now?
Man, was it? Yeah.
Something like that. So yeah, we've been fighting this fight with the coal plant for a minute, and it doesn't look like it's going to get anything's going to change, especially with these new data centers that are coming into our area. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We're actually actively looking at some articles and doing some things to try to dig into some of those things as well. So thanks for the reminder. Appreciate y'all.
Man, big
Christy
time.
Nora gives us a good morning, running in the race, fighting the good fight. Appreciate you.
Yeah, good luck.
Yep. Heather Williams says the only one I saw with your faces was the guy from the ACLU. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
one, man.
and he'll be
Progress.
on later.
He'll be on later. Shout out to Jason Whitmore, Jason Whitmer for coming through with that one. That's what's up. Heather Williams says, let's not forget what's happening with healthcare.
We'll be. It's not necessarily, and this is the interesting thing about this show. So we will be addressing that. I didn't include that in the headlines because again, it's not necessarily a headline. It's not necessarily a news story that's being reported, which is why y'all need to, when we do report on this stuff, y'all need to give us some respect. Anyway, we'll be talking about that today. We'll be talking about that because yeah, there's some things going on with our elderly brothers and sisters that's being ignored and not reported. So we're going to talk about it. So yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that. Thank you, Heather Williams, for that. But in the spirit of time, jump in. How you feel?
Before I do, I want to clear something up. Anthony Rogers Rice says, I'm not an environmental activist. Due respect. My work is climate environmental liberation. Put some respect on his title.
Okay.
That's what he's doing. So I appreciate
Liberation.
that. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the first bit, buddy. What's the first on the agenda here?
Yeah. Kind of in the same vein of talking about, land, environment, land use, those types of things. OEDC, man. Again, the homeowners, the landowners in the area of East Omaha now get to breathe a sigh of relief that, again, plans are changing. And the pressure that we all saw, that we all knew what it was, is now being relieved as far as OEDC electing to pick another area to build their airport business park. Again, OEDC, also known as the Omaha Economic Development Corporation, announced over the weekend that it is moving on from the neighborhood after months of talking with homeowners about their interest in selling or not. Again, many homeowners were afraid, actually had to kind of hold on home projects that they had going on, or maybe even struggle to find a new home, knowing that they possibly could not afford it. But again, here we are, and finally an end in sight for this saga. Aaron French, who's a manager of Urban Farm Initiative at City Sprouts, which calls that area home, says we are definitely breathing a sigh of relief. Again, since the project was announced back in 2024, neighbors have been waiting for answers, again, holding off on housing projects, and some even looking around for new homes, while some have actually gone on to find new homes and did voice some support for the project. Many other homeowners, again, able to move forward with their life. What this means for the future of the airport business park, not quite sure. It is moving forward. There is a scheduled community vision meeting on Tuesday, October 14th. That's from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Highlander. Again, the venue at the Highlander. So again, hopefully they can find some space. I do think, the push for more jobs in the area is something that most people do want, but, not displacing homeowners in the process. So again, hopefully this gets figured out. Again, shout out to everybody down at both the community board and the executive board of the Inland Port Authority, who did not, just rubber stamp and push this project through, who were actually very vocal and working, with the people in the community to make sure that there was no displacement through this project. So there we go.
There you go. If you want some more information, I just put the OEDC's website, Airport Business Park page in the chat. So you can go ahead and hit that if you want some more information there. Definitely hit them up and find out what's going on. I think there's the application there on that page as well to take a look at the. Let me see if I'm telling the truth on that. For that meeting, there was a registration piece.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Again, October 14th, Tuesday, October 14th.
There you go. Community Vision meeting registration is on this page as well. So definitely hit that and register and go have something to say about that if you would.
There you go.
Rogers right in the chat says the airport business park seems to be on the same time frame as the Chinese democracy.
Yeah, eventually it'll come. Eventually. Man, but again, moving forward, speaking of housing, though, again, moving from those struggling with maintaining the ownership of their land to those who are just trying to find the land that they can find. Again, our houseless brothers and sisters who have set up encampments throughout the city, waiting on a decision on whether they are going to have to pack up and move where we don't know, or be able to stay where they are. Again, the Omaha City Council has delayed a closely watched vote on banning homeless encampments, now scheduled for October 21st. The decision comes after weeks of pushback from the public and calls for more collaboration with service providers and not just a outright outlawing of homelessness. Again, Councilman Brinker Harding has been behind this, again, introducing the ordinance, which he says views homelessness as a public safety and health concern. He added that has been in contact with several organizations to improve the legislation, but declined to name them. Again, as a part of his ordinance, 30 days in jail, $300 fine for those found in encampments. Again, not necessarily getting them out of the situation that they find themselves in. And again, one of the city's major shelters actually has not been consulted. The Stevens Center in South Omaha, which works daily with people experiencing homelessness, has reportedly already turned away more than 3,000 people this year alone, including full families, children, as we've been talking about here on this show. So again, when we talk about what is the real situation with homelessness, individuals not being able to go to shelters because the shelters are full. And again, if they can't go to shelters, if they don't have a housing that they can afford, where can they go? And now trying to shut down the encampments is shortening that list of places to go even more.
Yeah, that's messed up. Replenish the vocalist in the chat saying F. Hansen and his whack ass video about homelessness. That was wild. Yeah, definitely wild. If you don't know, Sheriff Hansen got on talking about tongue in cheek. He said later on, if you want to help the homeless situation out, invite him into your house. Basically, it was like, I'm not going to invite him in my house, but okay,
Man,
which is crazy.
like why
We have to go ahead.
I'm just saying, why say that? Like,
Yeah, right. He's just out there clowning. Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. Re-election coming up. 6 to dismiss. He's on the list for sure. So definitely get ready. Get ready for the election next year. Tamara Dwyer is in the chat. Good morning. She's the city's house homeless. I never get your title right. I'm so sorry about that. But you're doing a lot of work with trying to get the homeless housed in a big way. She says they should have just voted on it. I'm not aware of any service providers he has spoken to. Yeah,
okay.
pushing that back seems real like they got some kind of what you got up your sleeve. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I felt like as soon as I read they were pushing this thing back. So we'll definitely see. Mark Manor in the chat says all the encampments I go by disappeared in the last 2 weeks. Interesting. Mr. Dwyer says he was just trying to discredit the work being done.
When you say he, are you talking about Brinker Harding? And then yeah, let us know. Okay, homeless services coordinator is her job.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. You're doing great work. And for those of you that have missed the interview that we had with Ms. Dwyer, please go back to YouTube, check it out. She had a lot of great things to say about what we're trying to do here. Basically, it all sums up to if you want to solve the homelessness problem, put people in homes.
Man, or apparently work with the people who are trying to do that. According to this article, Chris Knopf, who is the CEO of the Stevens Center, says, I too want to save the community, but I question how likely a solid solution is when the people proposing ordinances are not working with those on the front lines. So again, there is a disconnect there. And we all know when there's a disconnect, it's hard to get things done. So thank you, Tamara, for the work that you're doing, and we'll continue to keep an eye on this situation.
For sure. Before we get to the next, I just want to shout out Cameron Snipes, who's saying Hanson was also going around making videos of different unhoused encampments. And they care so much, but they cleared out 2 encampments on South 13th Street a few weeks ago, and the mattresses and everything else are still there. She says, being the institutions that cleared them.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to trust, man. It's just very hard to trust, or what the motive is, what the intent behind some of this stuff is. And when you see it for what it is, that's what it is. And then when you see things that, and I'm transitioning to another story, this $50,000 proposal for teachers. If you haven't heard about this, again, speaking of property, speaking of homelessness, speaking of housing, moving along to, another story and other news out of the Nebraska Examiner, a new Nebraska property tax relief petition is adding a push for 50,000 base salary for public school teachers. Again, on the surface, that sounds good, but I'll be honest, I'm a little skeptical about what this means when we talk about funding schools and property taxes and just following the money, if you will. But a group of advocates, this again from Nebraska Examiner, launched a petition drive last month aiming to cut property valuations in half, and are now also asking that voters approve the state pay all of Nebraska's public school teachers at least $50,000 per year. On Monday, the group announced a third petition focusing on guaranteeing a competitive base salary for all Nebraskans public school teachers. The proposal for a state-funded $50,000 base teacher salary, dubbed the Apple Plan, which stands for assist property payers through legislative education support. Again, the plan was promoted and pushed by Eric Underwood, who's the former chair of the Nebraska Republican Party. Keep that in mind. And the leader of the petition drive, saying it's a blueprint for Nebraska. Again, the three petitions now gather signatures in hopes of making it onto the 2026 election ballot. The two petitions seeking to change state law require just over 88,000 signatures. So again, they're trying to change the property tax evaluation, and again, funding teachers. And we'll get into this in a second. But again, I'm a little skeptical when Republicans get to talk about changing funding for teachers. Again, $50,000 flat rate for teachers. We know that they're underpaid. Sounds good on the surface, but again, it's hard to trust. It's hard to trust what the intent is. Paul, I know your sister is going into teacher. I know you've had multiple conversations with teachers. What are your thoughts when you hear this?
Yeah, we just had some discussions about that, and the what they're getting paid now is just not enough. Our latest discussion had to do with taxes that get taken out of that money that you were in a certain tax bracket that makes it so that it's unaffordable for you to actually be a teacher. Everybody got to have some kind of side hustle and everything else. So anything that can help the teachers out, I'm for. But yeah, where's the motives coming from? These are all good questions. I'm not sure about any of it. I got to dig in more on that. I think this goes right along. My mind right now is working like there's this other stuff happening with these school vouchers, and that Pillin just came through with, and there's some stuff going on here with schools, funding for schools, teachers. Where are they pulling money from to do this? We're almost in the follow the money season after this one, so I'm already kind of getting in that spirit of that. Like, where is
Yep.
this coming from? Where is it going? Why now? Is it 50,000 in the grand scheme of things? That we know it does not a lot of money. Really, it doesn't really work. So what's the move here? What pawn is being sacrificed here for them to, what I'm saying? Like, I'm what you got up your sleeve? That's going to be the theme of my whole my whole day today is what you got up your sleeve. It's interesting. So yeah, that's kind of where I stand right now, and I'm trying to just figure that out, um, and dig more into it. But what say you? Of course, we're asking the chat to chime in on this. If you know anything about this story, or if you're directly connected, as a matter of fact, love to hear from you on any of that.
Man.
So we'll definitely see. Heather Williams says, "Ooh, yeah, Pillin is going to the school voucher program. We voted down. We've been talking about it. We've definitely been talking about it. The will of the people was no. Big beautiful bill allowed it to happen, and if Pillin went right for the Trump situation and got down on it. So we'll see." Heather Williams says, exactly, Paul. They're trying to keep the teachers union quiet. Didn't think of that.
Okay.
Interesting. Kimber also says, don't forget the School Finance Review Commission the governor created. The Review Commission. Kimber's on school board. She's been talking about this budget, which is over $1 billion, which is more than the city budget. OPS, Omaha Public Schools. This is something that needs to be talked about for sure. And yeah, so again, man, like you see, I don't have a solid thought yet. It's swirling around. Where's the money coming from? Where's it going to? What's the move? What you got up your sleeve?
Man, well, I'm glad somebody mentioned the review commission. That is mentioned in this article as well, according Onto the article, the group who is behind this, which I failed to name, the group is called Nebraskans for Everybody, or excuse me, Advocates for All Nebraskans. Apologize again. Advocates for All Nebraskans is a nonprofit organization that's behind this proposal, and apologize. Again, the Financing Review Commission. Apparently, the group did not consult with the members of Nebraska's new school financing review commission on this proposal, as the group is more focused on proposing improvements within the existing formula. This proposal changes the formula, but there is some concern as far as the state's overall revenue. Again, there's no secret that the state is on a slippery slope, running out of money very quickly. And what does this mean? Some argue that the proposal will reduce property tax revenue. One economist actually argued that the lost revenues could be balanced through increased economic activity. The property tax relief measures would give Nebraskans statewide more money to spend, and Underwood estimated it could generate about 150 million in extra tax sales revenue. When Nebraskans have more, they spend more, which is important as far as increasing tax revenue, because the question is, what are they planning to do with that tax revenue? And again, y'all already ahead of the curve, already know where I'm going with it. The tax credit program, which again, the people voted against. The people did not want this after the Ricketts family paid $300,000 plus to pay the petitioners to get it on the back. Like, they invested in this. The Ricketts family invested in this. The people did not want it. And yet here we are with another governor pushing for it. Nebraska Examiner reporting that Pillen has elected to enroll Nebraska in the federal private school tax credit program. Again, this tax credit program allows individuals to use some of their tax dollars to invest in private schools.
Okay, so what I've been hearing though is that the main part of that news story was like this: the money's it's going to be money for both. It's not going to be taken from public schools, which everybody was afraid of. From interview from a news story that they were doing about Pillen. So, but at the time, it didn't sound. I didn't know if that was the case, if it was true. I didn't know the way that they said it was like, no, no, it'll be all right. Instead of showing us the receipts on that. So, not sure. So, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna jump into the chat real quick while we're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Kimra is saying,
I can't see the chat, by the way. Just a
Oh,
heads up. Yeah,
oh, okay,
little
okay.
technical difficulty on my side. So if anybody's asking any questions or anything, I can't see the chat. So
Okay, yeah, appreciate that.
yeah.
Kimmer says, I have not heard the story, but OPS is quite competitive with pay the teachers, and just voted for a significant increase just a couple years ago. Okay. Marianne Williams says, we need more state money in schools, though. Equality is difficult when schools are funded by property taxes, as some neighborhoods have more money than others. Sure. It's definitely part of that. Also, Kimber says, just to clarify, OPS's budget is more than the city's general fund budget. But I should have clarified that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Miss Cheryl Weston in the chat. Good morning. Says, question: who is supporting this advocacy group? That leads me also to the question: is what private schools are they trying to put together in the first place? For who? For what? Marianne Williams says, if the state pays a large portion of salaries, then school districts could likely pay the difference to get teachers a decent wage. Appreciate that. Also, Anthony Rogers Wright says, that's real, buddy, but let's also remember that the public schools in New Orleans were killed by a Democratic mayor and city council. It's not about party, it's about organized greed. That does remind me about what happened in New Orleans. It was very unfortunate. Wanda Lewis in the chat says they want to use the voucher program to pay the teachers and keep them on a budget while profiting and still billing taxpayers. That's interesting. Kimber Snipe says, I just Googled the name of that group and it looks like they're not a certified nonprofit. They're a group circulating petitions.
Yeah, it's a fairly new. I believe in the article it actually said the nonprofit was founded like recently, like very, very recently.
Okay. Also, Mary Williams says people interpret any dollar amount going to private schools as taking from public. Yeah, I think sometimes that was the case. Again, we got to double check and find out if that's the case for this. Although still not really sure about all the moves here, as I was stating earlier. So I appreciate your guys' comments. I'm glad to these questions are coming up. They're giving me a direction on what it is I'm going to dig into a little bit on this. But yeah, I
For
appreciate. Go ahead.
for me, the big thing is the blatant disrespect towards the will of the people.
Thank you. Yeah.
We've been through the saga already. Whether or not the details or not, people voted. And this sentiment that people don't know what they're voting on, people don't know what they're talking about, people don't know what they're doing, the voice of the people doesn't matter, is a problem. Whether
And
you agree with it or not, the democratic process is the democratic process.
right.
It went through the legislature. They passed a bill. There was a petition process. People signed the petitions. People went to the ballot. People voted. That should be the end of it.
Right.
But yet
And
we have this governor who's enrolling, unilaterally just electing to enroll us in this program that nobody wants.
and here's well, some people want it. And here's the deal. Here's the deal with this. The reason why he was able to do that is because of the administration that we have, the climate that we're in right now. The big beautiful bill is allowed for this move to be made. So they said, okay, you guys want to vote no on this? All right, well we can still do it. We can still get our way and do it because we're in that. That's what's going on with Trump, and the climate right now is whatever it is that you want to be able to do, you can do. You know, circumvent the law, circumvent the will of the people, and put something in place for you to do it. So it was federal. We couldn't. The state was like, nah. So he said, okay, no, okay, then we'll go federal, and that sets a crazy precedent too when you think about it. That whatever it is that our current administration, federal administration, is setting up, if the state doesn't, if it doesn't line up to what they want, and the state votes a different way, they can come back and be like, okay, well, federal will take over it, take it over then, which is real crazy when you think about the Republican Party like saying, okay, well, we'll make it federal then.
Man, and just listen to the language, like how excited they are to jump on this bandwagon. Again, this is a quote from Pillin. Says, let me make it clear. Let me make it really clear. I am not opting this in. I am cannonballing it into the state of Nebraska. Again, after the voters of the state overturned legislation that tried to create the voucher program. And here we have Pillin head first diving into this Trump administration's nonsense.
We're working on our special guest coming in here shortly. Before we do, I like what Kimber's saying. She says the language looks very similar to the language that the governor was talking about during his press conference about ballot initiatives. Tying that together, says the governor talked about this is a couple of months ago, but he never named the group, a group that would do the ballot initiative. She says they don't need to consult with the Finance Review Commission. They have the governor who put the commission together.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Appreciate your outlooks on all these things for sure. Well, I mean, he's definitely jumping after what it is. He's definitely paying attention to what the administration wants. So crazy. Marianne Williams says ballot initiatives mean nothing in Nebraska. Name one that Republicans like that have actually been implemented. Good thing to think about. We'll think about it on the break. Like I said, we're working on our special guest coming in right now, so stay tuned with us. Bear with us, and yeah, we'll be right back. I'm kind of on this beach tip, man. Somebody posted a photo of a beach that was right down the street from where I was living at, and it just took me back. I was like, that's my Kauai right there.
Man,
that's my Kauai right there. That's a beach that I spent a lot of time at right there, and it just took me back. So we're going right near the beach again one more time, y'all.
hey.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back for Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddy the Gawd.
Hey.
We had Sherman Wells a second ago.
Yeah, look like we.
And he's back. Okay, look like you have some technical difficulties over there too, bro. Yeah, I'm getting the message right now. Looks like he's having some difficulties here. Connection lost.
Man, what's going on?
Maybe they're messing with us.
Yeah, maybe. I can see the chat now. I'll say that.
Okay. Do us. He can't hear me. Let's see. Okay, bear with us real quick. I'm gonna give him a few directions here. Okay, so yeah, we're working on brother Sherman Wells to come into the chat again. Sherman Wells is coming through today, and we're going to talk about a few things. We also have Jason Witmer from ACLU Nebraska coming in a little later on in the show. So please stay tuned, stick with us while we try to make this happen. And in the meantime, between time, we'll continue the conversation. We'll continue it going here. Appreciate everybody that's jumping in right now on a lot of things. How did that come up? Well, we just having technical difficulties all around today. It's going down. Miss, excuse me, Cheryl Weston in the chat. Good morning. Says the blatant disrespect to the people can only be changed by the people to change the top administration.
Mm.
Excuse me. Yeah, that's what's striking me. Like, you know, all my life in the black community, I keep hearing you got to get out and vote. You got to get out and vote. A lot of people are disillusioned with that. A lot of people don't for a bunch of different reasons, and and one of them is they don't feel like it matters. And got to admit, in some cases it don't. Overall, it's supposed to work, but some cases it don't. Didn't work this time. They're gonna get their way, like Miss Cheryl Weston is saying. Blatant disrespect to what the people voted on, and figured out a way to go around it. But she also reminded us of how you fix that. You get them out the paint, like RG says.
Mhm.
It's time to get them out of the seat. 6 to dismiss. Precious McKesson kind of spoke on this and hit to it. First on the list is Governor Jim Pillen. Senator Pete Ricketts is also on this list. Don Bacon has already stepped back. Congressman Mike Flood, Congressman Adrian Smith, Don Klein for Douglas County Attorney, and Douglas County Sheriff Aaron Hansen. These are the 6 to dismiss that we've been talking about in a bunch of different places. and it's voting season next year, so we will see what's happening. Okay, looks like we got Sherman back. Hopefully, yo, can you hear us?
Yo.
All right.
I hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sounds like you going through.
Man, the tech is
through a weird
teching.
moment.
Man. Yeah, it does that when we get busy. It does that.
Tech is teching, but I appreciate you holding fast and coming on through, bro. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing all right. Just going through the motions. Life is ups and downs, and as a human, we got to try not to let the downs keep you down.
That part.
Yeah.
Roll with the punches. But of
Yep.
course, you've been keeping boots to the roots.
Yeah.
Man,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You got a lot to talk about. I don't even know where to start, Paul. What you thinking?
Well, let's start here. We got a lot of new listeners now that we've had our Monday show. Seems that people been stealing our content, chiming in, all kinds of stuff. So just want to give a shout out.
Oh, the content rolling, brother. I checked that out. And you know why? It's because we have particular people who we talk to. And since we decided not to talk to a particular person, they just came to y'all show and stole the content.
I saw that, buddy. I forgot to tell you that this morning, but I did see
He's
that.
doing
I
it
saw.
again.
I saw that they were somebody.
Man.
As a matter of fact, I think it was Linda in the chat. She said somebody was salty and was like they didn't want to come speak to us. K-Fab, I think it was. They didn't want to come speak to us, but they did speak to this local podcast. That kind of energy for real, man. But anyway, yeah, he's bear with us. I can see his internet is tripping right now too in a big way. Which we need to get to one day. We need to get to one day because North Omaha, especially North Omaha, we should be on the cutting edge with some of this tech, internet, fiber stuff. We're still last. We're still lost.
Oh yeah.
Last in the cipher when it comes to that. We'll talk about that one day. But
there we go.
He's back.
Man.
So anyway, man, yeah, we got a lot of people checking this out, and so I just wanted to start with some people may not know who you are. I don't know who they would be and what kind of hole they live in, but this is Brother Sherman L. Wells. He is a co-founder of Untamed. He's the one that's been doing the 20 weeks of summer over there at the Assembly of the Saints, and just a local activist, local
Man,
community leader.
I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even say local activist. I mean, brother's been busy. The brother's been busy.
Brother's been busy.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, what would you call your what would you call yourself? What's your title?
I'm just I don't know. A black man.
Black man.
who care about his people, you know what I mean?
Care about this,
willing to make the sacrifices to make sure that people voices are heard. And like Buddy said, we actually been working across the United States now. So it's been a really crazy journey. And I will be traveling a lot, but I'm still, Omaha gonna always be my home base. But we kind of working now with a lady from Mississippi whose son, she hasn't heard. He got a federal case, put him in California, and then transferred him to a Minnesota medical ward. And when he got there, she ain't heard from him in over a year. So, of course, our name is kind of popular in Minnesota. So we call the jail and get to talking to these people. And they tell us, oh, he's not signing nothing. Can't nobody come see him, blah, blah, blah. But we figured out a loophole. Clergymen. You can't stop a religious man from coming to see somebody. And so we had Pastor Ballard call. And the next day, they sent a letter saying that they're going to have the attorney general there take over the care for this man, basically trying to block us again from seeing him. But still, the loophole lies with the clergyman. You can't stop a clergyman from seeing somebody.
That's crazy.
So, and when the woman called me yesterday from Mississippi, like, I've never seen nothing like this. Like, they wasn't telling her nothing. And now that we have gotten involved, this letter comes out, and I'm just like shocked, bro.
This is amazing. They won't go ahead.
They keep freezing me up.
No, you here. Just keep going. Keep going.
I keep seeing the message.
That message coming up trying to kick you out.
Yeah, let the brother get that straight, but y'all hearing it. Yeah, y'all hearing it though. I'll even go as far as to say to call the brother a local activist is kind of a little disrespect. Like the brothers. Well, yeah, for sure. But just the brother's been putting in work. Of course, we talked about Sister Brittany Polite, who's out in Kentucky, in a women's facility out there, and he had her on the show. Sermons with Sherman to share her story, and it grew from not just her story, but the other women who were at that facility from around the nation. Again, all the things that we're talking about is connected. It's all connected. It's all the same beast that we're dealing with, and Brother Sherman is on the front lines in many fronts fighting it. So again, thank you. We hear you loud and clear, brother.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, just keep on giving me the message that I'm getting booted out of here. But my internet, I got a full bar. So
I'm not. This is the first I've even heard of this program doing this. So I apologize. I don't know what's going on. They messing with us is my theory. Yeah. This story that you was telling us, I wanted to say before you moved out of that. You guys got a lot of pull out in Minneapolis. Of course, you have family members there, and of course,
it's doing it again.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I think you should connect with Georgia Fort out there. She's a local
journalist,
journalist who's doing good work. Man, okay, I hope this don't happen everywhere because this is getting kind of unnerving here.
Might have to join on his phone.
Yep, I did. We got a way to get around it.
Oh yeah.
I had to do that the other day myself. Okay, so no more messages there. You coming in? You coming in?
Yeah, I'm not getting that message from Restream no more. Not right now, anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Come through loud and clear.
Again, we
Okay,
apologize
good.
for that. Yeah, coming through loud and clear. We were talking about Georgia Fort, who's a local journalist out there in
Oh
Minneapolis.
yeah, we love Georgia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's dope. She's dope. So I was just mentioning her. Anything that goes out there, you can call her, and she'll put it on blast too, for real.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's gonna be our next option. If they deny Pastor Ballard, because he did call the local clergyman, and once he started poking around, we got that letter, and
Mm,
so he called him back today because the letter came out on the 24th, which was the day after we called to say that we were sending him to come. So if they don't answer and quit playing with us, we're gonna get Georgia on them. So
That's what's up.
yeah.
That's crazy.
And
They won't
Miss
let.
Nakimi Levy Armstrong, she's another one there who she was the lady who stepped in when they was trying to whitewash Amir, and during the press conference, she just came right up on the stage and ripped them in front of everybody. They didn't like
mm.
that. So
I remember that. I remember that press conference.
yeah, we love her too.
That's what's
Man,
up.
man.
Can't
Yeah,
believe
just
they're not letting the person see. They're not letting his mama see him.
His
And you,
mama in over a year. Get out of here, man. And
you
he
got to.
was communicating with everybody, his mama, his brother. And so yeah, that was just so random. And she reached out to me on TikTok. So
man, people see it. People see it. Speaking of that, I don't know if you heard while we were kind of dealing with the technical difficulties I mentioned, Sister Brittany, who was again, you covered her story and elevated her story. Um, man, have you been in contact? Any updates? Or
they putting Brittany through the ringer, y'all. Like
Mm,
lockdown, phone privileges, deleting her contacts from her email. Her mom and dad been having difficulties talking to her. Yeah, they putting her through the ringer. Don Bacon's office got a slip from her because you have to sign permission for a congressman to get information on you. So once we got that slip turned in, it just turned into a whole monkey show.
mm,
Not just with her, but all the ladies who were contacting us for help.
mhm.
They've been cutting our communication. It's terrible. It's terrible.
for
Uh,
those who don't know the story, could you give a little recap real quick about Sister Brittany?
yeah, Sister Brittany, she's in the women's penitentiary. Dang, I can't remember where it's at right now, but she's in a woman's penitentiary. It's a low end woman's penitentiary. And she contacted us because she's supposed to be able to furlough out or go to a halfway house or something once you do so much of your time, like a third or whatever. And once she did that, they just kept not giving her furloughs. They not letting her out. And then they wouldn't give her a reason. And so then she contacted us through Malcolm Rib Shack, that's his daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah,
Mm,
once we did the live interview with her over the phone, over the internet, and it blew up. And after that, they just started treating this woman like she even worse because of that. It was like a retaliation, you know.
mhm.
And
People in the chat are asking York. Is she in York?
no, it's a federal prison.
Yeah. Was it in
It's
Kentucky?
no, it's the same one Martha Stewart was in. I just can't
Mm,
remember the
okay.
name right now.
I was out of state though.
Yep,
Hmm.
yep, it was out of state.
Yeah, I highly suggest you go to Sherman's page. Is it on the interview on YouTube or Facebook?
It's on YouTube.
Yeah,
It's
I highly.
called Voices from Prison.
Man,
Mhm.
that was a powerful one.
Powerful. You don't normally hear people bold enough to speak from prison and to talk about what's going on, the conditions that's happening because of exactly what you're talking about, the retaliation that probably ended up
Hmm.
happening to her because of it. Yeah, man. Let us know when you got any more information on that. If you whenever you got an update, love to hear any more.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, bringing things back down to Omaha right now. Give us a little rundown of some of the things. I was trying to figure out like one point of conversation that we can have, but you got so much going on that I need a little bit of a rundown of what you got happening. What's going on?
Oh man. So OPS, let's start there.
Okay.
There have been many cases of OPS incidents where they're not even following their own code of conduct. And so we've had to pop up at multiple schools because of it. And one right now that we're dealing with, we haven't popped up yet, but we on the way, Bueno Vista.
Mm,
There's an
Mm,
autistic young lady there, and the nurse is treating her really bad. This young lady has like they kind of like seizures where she fall out, and you're supposed to wake her up with pneumonia sticks, and they say the longer that she's passed out, the worse it can be for her brain. Well, this nurse has refused to wake her up. Um, yeah, and that's what she's doing because she's mad because the mom won't give her full access to her medical records as far as like her personal stuff. She like, this is all you need to know. And the nurse is retaliating by not doing the procedure that she's supposed to do with this
Mm.
child. And so yeah, we on her neck. And that was also contacted. That lady contacted us, and then we had another one where at Western Hills. I know they're gonna be mad at me because, and the reason why I'm saying it because Western Hills initially I did give them a chance to fix it, and I got a call yesterday that the little boy is still bullying this girl, and he been bullying this little black girl, shoulder checking her. He spit on her. And when the teacher heard the noise, the spit noise, the hawk too, looked back and said that, oh, well, I heard the noise, but I didn't see the spit fly and didn't do nothing to this little boy, and which is terrible. It's terrible. And so we go, and of course code of conduct say, exchanging body fluid, that's like a suspension, and you could possibly call the police. It's like assault. They didn't do nothing. And the mom was so upset when I talked to her. I told her just, she was on her way there. I said, go back home. We'll come with you. And when we came with her, the little boy was in the office because I sent the message to Matthew Ray, of course. And they talked about they was gonna move his class and all this and that. Well, then I got a call yesterday that they had a substitute teacher, and this little boy is back at it again with the substitute, making fun of the way this Sudanese girl talk, still bullying the other little girl. When she did tell on him, he was like, I don't care, they're not gonna do nothing. And then, just kept threatening the little girl, looking at her, staring at her, told her she P. Diddy cousin, all kind of stuff. Like, this little boy is out of control, but I just don't understand why they not doing nothing, but we'll help them understand what they supposed to
Okay.
do.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. And then even with now, so now the nursing home thing, we got a guy who's been there for a minute. He paralyzed from like the waist down. And we got a call from his aunt to go visit him. And when we did, it was probably one of the worst things I've ever seen, bro. Yeah, it was terrible.
You actually sent me pictures of that and said if we were going to show them, then we kind of need to have an advisory. I held back from uploading them because I didn't know if I wanted to show them.
I know.
Uh, I wanted to talk to you first, really, and kind of just get the story. And if you if you described it well enough, then we wouldn't have to show them. Yeah, it's terrible, bro.
Man, I would
I,
say I haven't seen the pictures, but being on how Paul described them as gruesome, I don't want to see the pictures.
Oh,
But I will say that this conversation needs to be had. Yeah, just before I share my anecdotes, please continue.
Yeah, before we get going here, just want to let everybody know it's 8:02 right now. You're now in the second hour of First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the
We're here with
morning,
we're here with Brother Sherman Wells, who has been who's a just a powerhouse when it comes to the people,
man.
and we're getting a rundown from him of some of the things that he's been talking about, working on some updates on some of the things that he's been trying to help with. And right now we're talking about a older gentleman who's being abused in a nursing home, bed sores and stuff like something I've never seen in my life. And you had to walk in there and see that and deal with that and talk to him. Is that correct?
yes, sir. And I was pretty upset. It was probably, it smelled like flesh. And um, yeah, he's been dealing with this stuff for a while. And here's the crazy part. This is why it's important that you and Buddy do what y'all do, Miss Weston, Will King, all that. Because so I typed up all the letters, Adult Protective Services, everything, right? And then I sent some out to the media. I did get a call back from one of the channels, and they met me out there. We interviewed across the street, of course, because they don't let you in. And then went in there to go talk to the brother. When I got in there this time, because the first time we visited him, walked right in, no issue. This time they stopped us at the door. And they said, "Oh, you guys can't come in here. We just seen y'all talking to the news. What's going on?" So I'm like, technically he my cousin, so you can't stop me from visiting. But before there was never an issue. We could just walk right in. I could have been anybody the first time I visited him because they didn't make a sign in, nothing. We just walked
Mm.
right in and went to his room. This time they go sit down over there. I said, first of all, we not sitting down. And I got on my uniform. I got brother Derek with me, and yeah, we not having that. So um, long story short, they held us up for an hour before they let us go up. But when we did get upstairs, there were 5 nurses outside of his room, cleaning his room, giving him a bath, and all that stuff. Right.
Mm.
So then he gets on the phone and talk to the news person, and then that night we get a message from the news saying we don't think we're gonna air it because they called the nursing home and they denied all allegations. And here's where this stuff always lies with us and trying to trust the local media, because their thing is objective reporting. They always want to get both sides, right? But if they say we're denying all allegations and we ain't gonna talk about it, so that leaves them without their objective reporting. Is one-sided. But who's going to admit that they doing this kind of stuff, right? And then the big corporation who owns it and operates it is refusing to make a statement. Okay. So now it's up to us to report on it. And like I told them, I only was including y'all because when I sent out the emails and stuff, I kind of figured you wasn't gonna do it. But then you like, oh yeah, let's meet up, and you had me waste all my time doing this stuff, and now you're not gonna air it. And that's why it didn't air, Paul. So again, this is
Wow.
why us as the local people, and like Buddy said, not really local, but we have to be independent and report on this stuff in our community ourselves,
Right.
because these people back down away from the story because they can't get, they like, well, these allegations are serious. Allegations is something that you can't prove. We have pictures to prove it. Like, it's not an allegation, it's true. And with them doing what they did yesterday by having Monday, where they had all these people cleaning him up, it just shows now all of a sudden, you want to clean him up. And we walked in and he was just laughing. And we like, what's he like, man, I ain't never had them come in my room and blitz me like that. They did the full bath, full wound care, full everything. Open the windows, sprayed his room so it didn't have the smell, none of that. But that's because we showed up, you know.
I'm gonna defer to Buddy, the journalist that has training in journalism, and I really need to. I want to talk to you about this for a second because I'm saying what Sherman is doing. First of all, we can talk about the part of that you're just a community member going and trying to help your cousin, help a community member that's going through this, and you showed up and you were bold enough to go up in these people's face, and you're also willing to sit down with the news and talk about what's going on. You're also news gang journalist talking about we got to report it. This is what we'll be celebrating when we do our fun fest on the 18th. This exact thing right here. It's not just about mainstream media. It's not just about alternative media. It's about all these medias coming together and figuring things out. Our whole premise of this show is to read between the lines on stuff because of exactly what you just described the media doing. Buddy, is this a story when a organization says we're not going to comment on this? Isn't that part of the story? There, we
Yes.
went to that organization and they refused to comment on this, and this is what we saw. Am I correct?
Yes. Come on now. Let's stop playing. Like, you read stories all the time where the other side does not comment, and they say that in the story. It's a commonplace in journalism. What are they talking about? That's what you report. You did your job. You asked both sides. You got their answer. That's what you tell the people. What are you hiding? Stop playing with us. And yes, RG, I am about to go off because it's the same madness they did with OHA, trying to play in our
Yeah.
face like that's a. Come on, man. How stupid do you think we are?
Yeah.
You are playing yourselves, actually, because people are going to stop coming to you. People are going to stop trusting you. People are going to stop messing with you. You're going to find yourself on the outside. Keep playing. And next time you use our content, put some respect on our name because we're doing the real work.
You know what? And that's what I was gonna say to you, buddy, about using your content. You know where that came from, right? So this lady from a specific channel called me and asked me could she interview Kasim. And I said, well, no, because I told Kasim on Monday, turn his phone off, don't talk to nobody else. We got our work to do, and let us speak for you as the journalist, because he's already told his story. Ain't no point in saying it over and over. I got a montage of videos that I'm going to put out today referring to my brother. And we normally interview with a specific person from that network. And I said, well, when we do decide to talk, that's who we're going to talk to, so not you. This person then circumvents all that and grabbed the content off y'all page and then posted it to their stuff. And they feel like, oh, well, it's public, so we can do that. But you didn't. You didn't get the interview. You just took interview video footage from first guy, because it's one of those things where if we don't talk to who they want us to talk to, and we specific on who we talk to, let's keep it real. We prefer black journalists, and that's what I told her. So then she goes about it her own way, while our black journalist had the day off on Monday.
Let me tell you, we saw it, we laughed about it yesterday and stuff like that. I am actually getting pretty mad about it now. Nobody reached out to us at all.
At
Um,
all, bro. And I know they didn't, because ain't no way you just pieced up this stuff off of First Guy with their permission. I knew she didn't.
and,
But
and,
but
and
then, because I told her that we're not doing the interview with you. When we decide to do it, we're going to do it with our sister. That's who we've been talking to. That's who we've been dealing with. Why would we wait until her day off and then do it with you? No, we're not doing that.
right, you talking about Melissa Wright, Channel 3?
Come on now.
Man,
That's who we was going to do it with. But instead, this lady comes and takes the footage from y'all to make it seem like, yeah, bro, it was terrible. I was just like, wow, this is how you get around us telling you no.
Took
listen,
took the
God don't like
footage,
ugly, and
cropped the
people see
footage.
it.
Go ahead, buddy.
I'm just saying, God don't like ugly, and yeah, it's gonna play out how it's supposed to play out. Go ahead, Paul.
Yes, sir.
People are already not. I mean, this is the whole reason why we've been doing what we've been doing since we started Mind and Soul back in the day. We always get misrepresented in mainstream media, and it's really interesting. The way we do our show, we are not going out here trying to find the latest whatever in order to get the largest numbers. We just happen to be something happened with our brother Kasim, that we talk to regularly already, and we brought him on and we had this discussion with him, and he was able to tell us what's going on, and that's because there's some solidarity there. The brother was like, this is home base. If we're
Absolutely.
going to talk to anybody, we're going to talk to home base folks. Melissa Wright, Channel 3, she's been in the community hard.
Hard.
She's been vetted by the community for over a couple of years now,
From the
and
moment she got here. Come on now.
she's been fighting the good fight inside of Channel 3 in order to make what news stories happen the way they're supposed to happen. So it was absolute complete theft. We talk about, we pull stuff from other news sources all the time, and every single time we do that, we cite the news source. You could at least said the name. You could have asked us for the clips. We would have sent the clips to you. You didn't have to take them and alter them and do a bunch of like just and like I said, the most that I saw anybody say anything was from a local podcast.
Wow.
From a local podcast, as much as anybody ever said. Now we know that WOWT, KETV, and KMTV all stole our footage and made it their own. Try to look like they made it their own, like they went and got them quotes from Brother Kasim.
Mm-mm-mm.
So it is worth talking about, and only not only that, it's stupid because we're all in the same. It's all news gang. We're all in the same fight together. It don't make no sense for them to act like this. We're all in the same. We're trying to gather and disseminate the news. We're trying to report stuff that's going on, but we're not in cahoots with whatever organizations are out there trying to stop the story. That's the difference. That's the reason why stuff that we're doing, like what we're doing, is important. Stuff that you're doing is important. That's why we having our event on the 18th, because we have to honor the people like us that are out here actually getting the stories, doing the stuff.
Right.
They got their awards, they got their stuff, and we're having it at the Omaha Press Club too, the place that the press is supposed to be, because we're legitimate press. And anybody that wants to say otherwise is you're playing yourself. Congratulations.
I mean, this is why we created the Content Creators Camp, and we're pushing this line for citizen journalism. It is the First Amendment right. It is our right. It is your right. It is not a privilege. It is your right to speak up, to have your voice heard. Everything that is happening, they are trying to silence us because we know what's going on and we are trying to stop it. Again, I said on Monday what we are in. I'm not going to repeat it, but you know what time it is. Move accordingly.
So moving, staying with what we got to stay with is, I just want to I'm highlighting this because it's so important, Sherman, what you said. You're reporting it. You're the reporter. You're the one. You're the source. Content Creators Camp is built so that we can teach people how to have some tenets of journalism in with their content creation, so that you can be a trusted source in the neighborhood. You're a trusted source in the neighborhood.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what I told them. I've never sent or had a story that y'all have aired, which they've aired multiple, too many stories that I can count, that I've fed to my girls and the people at these local news stations, which is usually the black reporters now that have all left besides Melissa and Quenisha. Okay. And I've never had not one story be questioned, only when it comes to the other news channels, the police, OHA. It's certain entities that they question. So when Channel 6 said I robbed a bank, none of the lawyers in town would take on that defamation of character case, because they said we get publicity from Channel 6. Okay. And when what's her name? Oh, Tall Twin and the gang unit came to her house and threatened her daughter, they came out and did a whole interview with Tall Twin, and guess what? They didn't air it.
Shelved it.
Shelved it.
Shelved it. Who the editors that make those decisions over there. We when we had as a matter of fact, I think it was Marlon Harrison. Somebody, I think it was Marlon Harrison, at one point talked about all the black journalists that were leaving one of the stations,
7.
and it was, we were trying to make that a story. We were trying to talk to those folks and see if they want to say something.
And you remember what happened?
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. But we got a little teeny bit of information. Remember there was, we got some whisperings about some of those the powers that be that are in cahoots with the mayor, with the governor, with all these other entities, and that could be a reason why some of these things get shelved that way. And it's been very obvious to us, people that are seeing the stories, other reporters like us that are out here actually getting stories, and then seeing that you go into the towers and seeing how messed up the lobbies were and the rooms were, and then then all of a sudden on WWT they're cleaned up and the computers work all of a sudden, and they just did it again with this brother. Now they're going in there cleaning up the room, cleaning his bed sores up. Sherman, I highly suggest that you put this together in an article. Put this together. You've been speaking of it. You have material for articles. We can help you write some stuff. We can you got them pictures. You got evidence. You got all the things you need to put this on the national stage, beyond your show, even beyond you on there talking about it. Because this is what we got to do. This is what we got to do now.
Come to death row.
Come to death row. Going down. Man, it's already 8:18. If you believe in the concept of time, we're here with Brother Sherman Wells. You miss any parts of this interview, I highly suggest you go back and check it out. This whole reason why we are doing what we're doing and honoring people like Sherman at our event is because of this very thing that's happening. All you got to do is get active and go out in the community and go help, and you're there, and you got your phone in your pocket, and you can get the receipts right where you stand. You can talk to the people. You can hear from the horse's mouth, face to face. You can use the recorder on your phone to get their testimony, and now you have just as much credibility as anybody else on radio, on television, on KFAB, on Channel 3, on Channel 7, on Fox 42. Any of them, you're on that level. If they treat you with any amount of disrespect after that, they're playing themselves.
They're
Shout trying to keep their jobs. They're trying to keep their jobs. They're playing themselves. Shout out to who? Who'd you say?
Hood Anchor Yay down here in Atlanta, showing them how it's done.
Hood Anchor Yay is my dude.
Man.
Yeah. And
it's a new way,
speaking of keeping their jobs, speaking of that, moving to Mr. Henry in these cases, how they just lumped them all together and then dismissed them all. They
Grand
never
jury.
contacted Mr. Henry's cellmate for the grand jury investigation. They never contacted the intake nurse for this grand jury investigation. And I have an interview with Mr. Henry's cellmate, who deeply describes, and this is another one. I'm not saying viewer discretion is advised, but it gets really emotional because he talks about Mr. Henry's last words. He talks about how he felt dealing with it all night. And I'm going to just spill just a little bit that before Mr. Henry died, he apologized to his cellmate for keeping him up all night with his screams.
For those of you who don't know the story, Mr. Henry is a person that got pulled over by OPD, got put in jail, and while he was in jail, had a heart attack and was having this heart attack many hours, uh, calling for help, screaming for help. Nobody helped him. When we first heard all of this, we thought the nurses that were on staff and all that were going to get in trouble. Ain't heard nothing back about anything. He basically died in police custody, and the grand jury, along with 7 other cases,
Man,
took all of an hour or so, a half hour, however it was, to determine there's no wrongdoing on law enforcement, and he just died natural causes in jail.
This is the third time they've done that, I believe.
This is the third one I've been hearing about. They lump them all in, and I've never seen anything come out of anything except for there was no wrongdoing. It is what it is, and we're out of here for lunch. Let's go have lunch. 45 minutes later. Last one was more than 8 cases. It was something like 12 cases. The
13.
first time, 13 cases before. This happens every year. We get the same
every year.
no wrongdoing nowhere every year, right?
Yeah, the brother that was killed down the street from his mom's house. His
Yeah.
case was wrapped up in that.
6 to dismiss. The 6 to dismiss, according to Precious McKesson, Jim Pill, Pete Ricketts, Don Bacon's out of there already. Mike Flood, Adrian Smith, Douglas County Attorney Don Klein,
Out the paint.
Douglas County Sheriff Aaron Hansen, 6 to dismiss. We'll be talking about it. We got another guest coming up, so I just want to give you a couple minutes just to give us some final words, some things that you're working on now that we can help with, what we should be looking out for, what's next on the agenda, what are you rallying people for? Let us know.
I would say final words is this. For one, I do want to invite everybody to our week 20, the final week, October 12th. We're going to go out with a bang. It's been 5 long months of doing this. And this is our 3rd year. So that's 15 months of community engagement. So I
Wow.
do want to invite everybody to come out. We're going out with a bang. Rib Shack, everybody gonna be there, and they're gonna be promoting education and grades. $10 for every A that you have on your report card.
What?
Nice.
Yeah. Um,
Who's
and
gonna
then
love that?
the whole thing with brother Larry being at Wendy's for 37 years, making $13 an hour. That is actually gaining a lot of traction. And we did hear back from the corporate Wendy's. And so my message to y'all is this. Even with his case, people always assume that you're not going to get heard or these people won't respond. But you got to remember, just because you're an individual, you look at yourself and you see one person, your spirit is bigger than the person that you see in that mirror every day.
Speak.
And it aligns with the stars, with your ancestors, with everything that's connected to earth, and every person, no matter who it is going to feel you when you put that energy out there. And there were so many people doubting because Larry's family has been reaching out to Wendy's for like 5 years. They would not reply to them, and they like, oh, there's 3.6 million followers. I'm sure they get inboxes all the time. They'll never reply. Once that video was posted, they replied the next day because it was 400,000 views in one day. And then all these other podcasters like us and local reporters and news people were rebroadcasting the stories on their channel. And everybody in the comment was tagging at Wendy's. Okay. So I just want to tell y'all, don't allow the human brainwashing that has occurred to us since we've been in our high chair that we cannot make a change as an individual. You can do it.
Mm.
Okay. You can do it. You get with your spiritual family, and y'all can push anything y'all want, and you'll get a response from these people. Because one thing I've learned is they hate negative public attention. They will take that one person causing it and throwing them under the bus and go ahead and ride over them because that's what they do. And us as star seeds, as people, as spiritual people, our ancestors ride for us. So right when they having they sweet dreams, something gonna pop in their dream, and be like, you better reply to them people. You know, we got the gift, y'all. So don't ever think that anything you trying to get done won't get done. Like the lady with the jail, it wasn't getting no response. Now she's getting responses. These people, never they was disrespecting Luke, and now they got in the nursing home, and now look, he's getting more care. You as an individual person can make things happen. Please don't ever discourage yourself. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't say negative things to yourself because you've already lost once you assume you cannot do it.
Man,
Everything can be done. Trust and believe that.
there you go.
Love
Love it.
and love, love, man. For real.
Love, brother.
Drop the mic. Sean McCarthy's quoting you already. Your spirit is bigger than the person they see.
Come on, man. Come on. And just because you see this one person, when you look in the mirror and you got this name that your mama or daddy done gave you, nah, man, you shine bright. That's why they call people stars or celebrities. People
Mhm.
just enjoy seeing what these people put out. But if you ain't putting yourself out there, you won't be seen. Just put it out. We living
Mm.
in a new age, and we are actually in a war. It's a spiritual war, and it's been happening for so long. The shift is happening
Oh yeah.
where all of the people who's on the right side, we got it, baby. And we just got to link up with each other and keep rolling. So don't ever be discouraged, man. Ever.
So
Oh yeah. They can't stop it. They can't stop
No.
what God created.
No.
Sherman Wells. We talk about lanes of change. This is one of the brothers that switches lanes all the time. He's one
All
of
the
the ones
time.
that hitting that blinker every time. But one of his main ones is strategic communication. As you can see, he's using it to the fullest. We're gonna have to have you come teach some of the classes on Content Creator Camp because this is exactly
Yeah.
what we're talking about, man. Using your platform, using your voice to make some kind of a difference. And some, we get overwhelmed by making a difference in our administration in the whole country and everything that we and changing laws and so on. You can use your platform and you can go down and you can help an elderly gentleman who's getting abused at a nursing home get some care just by shining some light.
Just by
So
showing up.
just by showing up. Appreciate you, brother. We're gonna let you go. I appreciate you coming on and dealing with the technical difficulties today.
Man.
But we'll have you back soon. And the African diaspora thing is that the thing that you're talking about on Sunday that's coming up? Can you hear us? Yo
I
yo.
can't hear.
Okay.
Peace and hair grease, y'all.
Okay. Peace, bro. Peace. We got him right to the end. Right to the
Right.
end there.
Marlon, if you have any information on the African Diaspora Day, drop it in the chat, please. Please drop that in the chat.
So we know that the brother is has been doing the 20 weeks of summer, and I saw this. I think the last week is going to be this Sunday coming up, and so I'm wondering if it's correlating with this African Diaspora Day that they have been also putting out. But we either one definitely try to show up for the at Assembly of the Saints on Sunday because they're going to be having their 20th week of summer that's happening. And I think this is going down too. So yeah, Marlon, if you're still in the chat, give some information. Oh yes, it is. There it is. So Michelle Moreno is saying that. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. African Diaspora Day, Sunday, October 5th, 2025, from 4 to 7 at Assembly of the Saints Church, right there on 24th Street. This will be the 20th week of their 20 weeks of summer. This will be a good one for everybody to come through and really get down. And they said they're gonna do it big this day, so definitely check it out. Got
Man.
to. Man, we're gonna take a quick break and get ourselves together here. Get ready for our next guest. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B.
Hey.
It's Buddy to God. Stay tuned, y'all. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back for Sky Omaha in the morning.
My
name is Paul B. He's Buddy the Guy. We got brother
Hey.
Jason Witmer in the chat. Good morning. How you doing, brother?
Grand Rising.
Peace, Grand Rising. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
I can't believe we finally got you on. It's been a long time. We've been talking about this for a minute. So yeah.
Well, I wasn't dodging nobody.
No, it's on us, bro. We've been looking. We absolutely are thankful for the help that we get now in order to help book guests and stuff that's going on. Shout out to First Gang fam, Linda, and everybody who's putting the work behind the scenes on trying to get this happening. But we finally got you on, man. How you doing?
I'm good. As good as I guess we could say these days.
I was wondering about you, a cat like you that's in here in fighting the good fight, doing the work. Do you wake up every day, ready to battle, or do you find some peace in the morning before you get going, or how you feeling like just daily?
People probably hate when you say that's complicated. But yeah. I guess you could say so. People who don't know me, I'm Jason Witmer, and I've been with ACLU for 2 years. But before that, a few years before that, I was community advocate, and I was working at a nonprofit for reentry. And then before that was a whole nother life, And I mean, we can get into that. Definitely willing to get into that because I'm very open with it, which involves me being in prison, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm very open with it because what people have done for me, and then I'm not excluding other people because a lot of people in the free world has also done things for me, but we forget about the men. So I'm in the men's facility, so I'm speaking about the men, but I'm sure it reflects in the women's facilities as well. But what the men have done for me, like I've seen, there's individuals that I don't know how you quantify like the harm we've done. So you can say maybe done more harm, but I don't know if that's a good quantification because you ask the harm that I've done to somebody else. They're not going to just talk about, well, thank God he didn't do more harm. It wasn't as bad on me. It wasn't as traumatic on me. But with that being said, I often believe that they deserve the chance that I got,
For sure. Actually, let's kind of start there. It really carries on from what Brother Sherman was just saying, talking about the power of each individual. And, even my own story, I haven't really shared much about, me facing 20 years in prison and eventually going to college, but it's a part of it. It has to be told. So let's start there as far as, where you came from and where you are now as policy fellow of the ACLU. Tell a little bit about your background and your story.
Yeah. So, born and raised in the state of Nebraska. So whenever they want to disclaim credit for some of the behaviors I had, I was definitely born and raised in the state of Nebraska. I lost my mother when I was 4 to domestic violence. So that's my first memory. And then that started my process into all their systems, the foster home system. And they just moved me around. And so I got to grow up in a lot, it took a long time because I was embarrassed to say like that I grew up mostly in small towns for the most part, because they put me around as when I got to an adult, because you're moving around with people around that are like you and not necessarily getting treated like you're one of the people, because now you're just the white boy mostly from the white boy towns. But it was rough. I grew up in the 80s and it was like I grew up 50 years ago, 100 years ago. So, but with that being said, what I was thinking about the values of small towns, and for us as Black people, we don't see that because small towns don't seem to want us, and they've been taught that to the grace of them, they've been taught that. But with that being said, they don't end up in a system like us because their police department, their teachers, the people who would suspend them from school, the people who would give them misdemeanors until they're making excuses why they need felonies are not doing that because they don't want to ruin their futures, because they know what happened. And that's what we need in our like law enforcement and our teachers and whatnot, that are remembering that there's a future there
for individuals, and that these things, especially these felonies, are not about accountability.
Mm-mm.
They're about complete exclusion from the system. They're about making sure everything from you can't be elected official here in Nebraska, so your voice is out on that. We just had to get through the whole fight of just having voting, which moved into being able to vote.
You talking about people who've been
Immediately off, people with felonies. If you got a felony, they don't have to give you a place to live. I can tell you no. That's it. I don't need to give you no other reason. You got a felony. I don't care if you got a salary job and you're driving. I don't care if you're Bud Crawford. If you're Bud Crawford and you got a felony, I don't have to give you a place to live. You better be glad that you can buy a house.
Boy.
And that should speak something, because when we can do people of that level, and I know we're going to get into that because that's why I bring them up in that context, is that felony is the mark of Cain. That felony is the mark of the Scarlet Letter. More like the Scarlet Letter. I may have done something to the level, a higher level, but when does it end?
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the documentary 13?
Yeah.
For those who don't know, 13 is a documentary by Ava DuVernay, which talks about how the 13th Amendment of the Constitution basically works to do exactly what he's explaining. Mark mostly people of color with the scarlet letter of criminal. And again, if you're convicted of any crimes, then you are subject to involuntary servitude. You're a slave, which is the process. That's the point.
Legally, and it disarms you. It disarms you and it arms other people. And I know we have a lot of conflicting opinions about guns, but gun rights should be for everybody.
Second Amendment.
So it's just like being trained fighter. You get trained by people who are responsible, people who believe in things, the power of the abilities that guns give you, martial arts give you. They're training you as a human being as well, the responsible ones, and that's the majority of them, I believe. So if our youth are trained in guns, they're no longer thinking about how frivolous these weapons are. But also, when we have mass risings, everybody knows these people are disarmed. And if I run up on them, let's say, I run up on them and I want to get rid of them. If I see them with a gun, I can give them a sentence like he done killed somebody for that piece of steel that everybody else is running around with, that are acting how they're acting.
So just so I can be clear, bring it back to what you were saying about being.
Yeah, let's bring me back. I have to write notes because I go off script.
I'm saying way, bro. I'm saying way. You should see list on list around here. So if you have a felony record, then you can't get a gun. You can't own a gun.
Can't own a gun.
And this is along the lines of the stuff you're talking about. It can deny you housing. So this felony record, and you just reminded me about something. I forgot about the time that they pulled. Bud Crawford had a felony from before. Am I right about that?
I don't know. I don't know Bud's record.
Okay. I thought you were talking.
I was just giving a loose reference of because of his celebrity status. I don't know about a record, and I don't mean to bring that up if that's an issue.
Yeah, no. I'm not sure. I want to backtrack on that because I was just thinking about another time that he got pulled over and detained by the police a few years back too. And why and how does it keep happening? And I'm thinking about it in reference of what you're talking about this scarlet letter thing that happens when you have that, and what power you have taken away from you when you have a felony, and how easy it is for especially a black man to get one, to be for a lot of different reasons. That you mentioned a little earlier that you ended up working at a kind of a reentry job. Which company was that? We do a lot of work with 180 Rap over there at Metro.
Yeah. It was the Mental Health Association of Nebraska. It was based in Lincoln. However, they just recently expanded, put 2 reentry houses up here in Omaha. They put one in, which became a whole battle because it was in a nice neighborhood, is in a nice neighborhood. Yeah.
What are you talking about? That country club house.
Yeah, and then my partner, Tessa, fought hard, learned it, came home crying. You know,
that's rough, bro.
Yeah, it's real.
It is rough. That's that not in my backyard was the whole battle, because she went around and talked to all the neighbors. She went and talked to the city council. She was talking to the police. She's talking to everybody. She's all happy. Suddenly this guy with money and influence pops up in the whole in half the neighborhood. I can't say the whole neighborhood because I wasn't all in it like she was in it. All turning against her. The police, all the certain police that was supporting her is all suddenly hands off. Half the city council is turning, you know, sideways, and it's all influence, because that's what our system is. It's not really, it doesn't feel like it's really about
people,
you know, what's best for people. And we know re-entry is best services when it comes to our system.
Right.
Is people need to come out and have services and have success. But I'm going to use the words reform. I'm going to use the words build. We need to do a better system. But when we come down to the truth, reform what? I don't think they like us going back into the system. I think they don't want us. That's what the felony is. And it's not just a felony. The misdemeanors has a whole history in itself. There's a reason why we just get stacked on misdemeanors and they don't let them go, because finally that judge can look at it and say, you deserve this. And other people, because we've been taught like, yeah, they deserve what's coming now. They just don't know how to behave.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing though. That's the thing. Mistreat you and then, you know, push the line that you deserve this mistreatment. Remember? We're enslaving you because you're all savages. It's the same mentality. It doesn't change. It doesn't change. It's the same playbook, the same mentality. And if you don't see it, I don't know what to tell you. But
and it's not a lack of personal accountability, because that's where you'll get the next kickback. Is they'll hear us talking about the environment, they'll hear us talking about the impact of people around us, the communities, the systems, and then they'll be like, well, you don't have no personal accountability. But look at what's happening in these different systems. We're going to talk about, you know, you guys are definitely on here talking about the young brothers getting killed in the streets for minor traffic violations. Don't know how to, you know, we don't. Kids are scared of the police. Black youth are scared of the police.
Period.
And now with the thing they're doing to the immigrants, people should be terrified, because this is not a separate issue.
It's not. So on that, because we got about 15 minutes left in the show. We might go longer. I don't know where this conversation is going, but right now, right here, right now, let's get into it, because first of all, thank you for sharing our content and acknowledging us in your video. We appreciate that. Yeah, from what I've seen, you're the only one to put some respect on our name. So thank you for that. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about the situation with Bud Crawford, him getting a gun pointed in his face. Of course, the ACLU has been very active in what's going on with the women held in Lincoln right now. Actually getting 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 4 released. Thank you, 4 released to this point. So let's talk about that. Let's just talk about what are your thoughts? Where's the ACLU on what they saw with Bud Crawford? What's going on with ICE? Let's get into it.
I think most of us that recognize the truth with the Bud Crawford is especially with Qasim's testimony, to hear more about not just a depiction of, oh, we just seen this and we reacted. We heard, you know, the announcements. Right. We know as a trained bodyguard, we don't doubt that he's going to announce when the police walk up on the vehicle, and he knows it's law enforcement. So the best course to defend everybody in the car is to de-escalate everything. It's not to pull your guns and say it's dangerous. I know I heard this coming from me, but I see in the comments, somebody's like, oh, that's your bodyguard, you're going to let him do that? Like, that goes one way.
Right. The bodyguard did his job. Everybody survived.
There's a whole team out here. He did what he needed to do to save everybody's life in that car. Exactly. But the police, we're talking about Second Amendment. So you're saying what I see is when I say I have a legal firearm in here, officer, and got my hands up, and then one officer is going to react with a gun out. Oh, we don't have a Second Amendment no more because you don't need your gun for illegal, because people are carrying legal firearms. So how come when there's a bill in the state capitol about guns, swarms of people show up there with guns on their hips, assault weapons
inside the
and
rotunda.
just to put it and just to quantify it, it's mostly white men.
Yeah.
Guess how many state troopers who protect that building pull their weapons? And there's angry people in there. That's how many should be pulling their weapons, any law enforcement, when somebody announces I got a legal gun. Nobody should be pulling their weapon. They should be like, low, you know, at max, okay, make sure to keep your hands where we can see them so we can all feel safe here, even if I feel unsafe, and then go through the process. We know, it's black and brown, man.
You coming from?
They're just taught to fear us and overreact on us.
Right. You're coming from a perspective of somebody who's been through that, and we're up to what the ACLU can do. In your story, as we're getting to know you in your story, I didn't realize that you had that you had some trouble in your past that way, and that led to you probably dealing with some reentry program, benefiting from it, coming back and giving back to that reentry program, working your way up, understanding that reentry is not all we need. We also need advocacy, and moving into this life of doing stuff for the ACLU. And now you're there, and what I kind of want to know what drew you to the ACLU. Also, I love this page that you guys got on the ACLU here. Actually, that's not what I was looking for. This is some 5 things that you can do, that you guys have put on your page here that I'm really interested in seeing. Know your rights, make sure others
Know
do.
your
Voice your
rights.
concern. Ask lawmakers to ensure oversight and accountability. Tell our federal delegation to support the Visible Act. We'll talk more about that. Say no to 287 in your community. So you have some actionable steps here. 5 actionable steps coming from ACLU. First of all, I kind of want to know a little bit about what your role is at ACLU, how you got into that, and also why, what is it, how is it, what is the ACLU doing now for some of these issues? And I know you probably can't speak on cases particularly, but where does the ACLU fit in the zeitgeist here for people who are in our community, maybe having some trouble reentry, and now there's some pro bono is the word that's standing out to me too. Pro bono services that ACLU gives to certain people that need it, and how does that factor in with their journey? And do you reflect that?
Yeah. So ACLU is a small organization. The greater power comes from community connections, support, and whatnot. So it'd be impossible for the few lawyers that we have, and I'm definitely not one of the lawyers. And even if I was, my felony would block me from from being a licensed lawyer. Yeah, it's just how. Anyway,
I'm learning a lot about felonies right now. I had no idea that all these things were blocked. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is the extension of the slavery. Is how you get us, keep us marked out there. And for people who are saying I'm not black, what about me? Is saying also that's what a racist system does. It eats its own as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we should all be fighting for each other. If we believe in less government, just a structure on how we can live together and have our own lives. But with that being said, first of all, we try to do a lot of know your rights. So we got to know your rights if you're stopped by the police, know your rights for immigration. That was a lot on immigration because the 287G agreement, that's what they're using for these ICE agents to expand their power to local law enforcement to act as ICE agents, essentially extensions of them. Our big thing right now is smart justice. That's essentially what it's saying is, around the correctional system, best practices, the data backed practices that best treatment of people, gives people the best ability to be successful getting out and staying out, etc. On and on and on. A lot of times we try to focus on cases that could have a bigger impact. When it comes to traffic, again, we've been taught this narrative that we just need these things. We don't need police and armed police officers enforcing non-safety traffic stops. People shouldn't have armed individuals. We shouldn't agree that we need armed individuals to walk up on us because I have one tail light out.
Right.
You know, people are saying like, well, people could be dangerous in the car. If that wasn't a normal thing and it was unarmed, you know, some sort of, I don't know what the, I'm not telling you this is the solution, but let's say that the traffic regulations was done by kind of like parking police, right? The parking, the people that regulate. People ain't up in there ready to shoot it out with the people that are giving you parking tickets, because they're not coming up armed and vested up and potentially, you know, whatever that's going on in the mindset is escalated. This escalates things, and it usually ends harmful for the person in the vehicle, not for the police officers. But also think of this. Do police officers become police officers because they want to be traffic cops? I can't imagine police officers becoming police officers because they want to be traffic cops. But the ones that are like, ooh, I want to do traffic, I want to do traffic, I would worry about them. Like, why would you become a police officer because you want to do traffic? Why would you not want to move them resources into testing and resolving rape kits that have victims' names on it who would love resolutions for what happened to them, or whatever?
Thousands of backlog rape kits. Thank you.
Thousands.
Thank you. Thousands of
years
backlog
ago,
rape kits.
Patty Pansy Brooks brought that up.
There's work for them to do. Yes.
And I never heard of that. And I was like, what? There's work for them to do that will really help people. And there's other solutions. We have great communities. That's what frustrates me when that I get to go in legislation and the community and the community groups, and you guys know, and you bring them on your show and you engage with them. They have so many solutions that if we could put money behind them, we would have different results in our community than what we have. But as far as the ACLU, we are focused on the prison system. It's a monster. We know that. And like a lot of things, it's built up to where it's got this almost immunity against all suits and all this stuff, but it doesn't have full immunity. It houses people. And when it feels hopeless, we should remember 300 years ago, we used to walk around watching people we look like us swinging from trees. We can fight this battle if our ancestors are fighting them.
Last week in Mississippi,
yeah,
not 300 years ago, last week in Mississippi.
Yeah. So we can fight this battle. It does feel, it makes me, I wake up sometimes and feel like, you know, what am I doing? I'm not going to get nothing done. Not to mention, you know, my background against me and whatnot. No. But it also speaks to me, like just the ACLU. I didn't pursue them. I engaged with them as I got out because I was volunteering and whatnot. I felt like that's what I needed to do for atonement and to carry the legacy that the brothers inside put in me that helped me change from who I was. Because I'm telling you, I went from a scared dude that I'm going to fight everybody that comes at me to worse until they literally gave me a name, Little Crazy J. Like, this cat is off the chain. Caused lockdowns, etc. And it just kept getting worse and worse until maturity started catching up to me. The fact that I had a family like my daughter and my grandma, that I'm pretending I'm two different people when I'm talking to them. And then, you know, my behavior inside and truth, critical thinking, things that we somehow outlawed and made terrible terminology out. Critical thinking making me second guess my behaviors and looking at different things and listening to guys I didn't want to listen to, because why would you read books now? Why would you talk like that? Well, you know, we in here in a war, and then realizing, man, you need to change your mindset. And it takes a lot of work. And now I come out here and I try to atone through work in the community. I recognize when somebody says, you are doing great, Jason. And I try to accept that because I used to reject it, but also realize there's people out here that are doing as good as me and often better, who have not done the harm, who deserve better celebration. But I recognize that just the fact that they would give me any credit deeper connects me to community. And that is the greatest thing that you can give the people who are feeling disconnected, or you feel they are disconnected and they're not getting it. Because incorrigible was a name that I was labeled forever, and I embraced it. And if I look back now and I had to try to deal with me then, now I'd feel like, man, this is impossible with this kid. Wow. But they did that. Them brothers did that. And the other people did that. And I get these chances out here to do this. So we try to push things. Senator McKinney has a bill, LB-222. I want to bring this up. That's a safety. That's a safety traffic bill, a road safety bill. It's about these low lift traffic stops of like, maybe we don't need them to be reasons to pull people over. They can be secondary. So in other words, a primary issue is like your headlights are out at night. That's dangerous. Understood why you might get pulled over. Somebody could get killed. You can run over people. You can't see a kid crossing the street. But in the daytime, that's probably poverty. You know what I mean? Person's not driving around trying to be dangerous. Most of us don't drive around because we want our headlight broken out. We don't care.
Headlights are $50.
Yeah, we try to think and put the money in the community. We will fix that. Go put somebody out there to say, hey, notice the headlight. We seen you. We're mailing you a voucher to go to this community auto shop and get your headlight fixed. I don't know. There's a solution. And we know all here, the community does that. But also with this traffic, Mayor Ewing, I'm excited. As the brother said the other day, let that brother cook. Let that brother, I heard him. We got to let him try to navigate that system, but he's there. And maybe this is something we look at on the local level. Maybe the chief there, and we all talk and say, like, let's take some of these non-safety related traffic stops and do something different than have them on the regular, have your people doing their expending their time and resources that could be better redirected than pulling over somebody that got a tinted window.
Especially if you're understaffed. I mean, is that the best allocation of resources if they're limited? Come on now.
Go ahead.
I've actually seen this happen, a fight for this in California when I was there maybe about 10 years ago. Same thing, low riders, tinted windows, every reason in the world to pull somebody over for something, and they really fought for trying to get that done. I don't know the outcome of it, but I've seen this argument before, and in New York as well. Traffic stops lead to a lot of stuff that is unnecessary, and it's an unnecessary waste of resources for police and all that too. With a couple more minutes that we have left here, I did look at, when I was looking at those 5 steps, that video the graphic I just put up, Pill and Announce Anti-Immigrant Commitment, 5 things you can do right now. Those were the 5 things that you can do, and you said you have many more things you can do sections on the site. So I definitely want to make sure that everybody goes to the site. And if somebody is in trouble, something's up, and you need some assistance, some help, especially when it comes to the things that you guys are about, which it happens to be racial justice. Some of the things that you guys are really helping to back. How do they get a hold of you? What do they do? Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Same site. There's to start out with, because there's such an overwhelming ask for help. They set up a process so that they could try to not have things just fall to the side instead of being looked at. People can't even get to them so there's a Get Help site. Legal Aid Nebraska helps us with quite a bit. They're pretty much front to look at people, what they're offering. Like when somebody's trying to get help, they look at what they got, they screen them, try to see if they got another avenue for them, or if it should be something for ACLU specific. I would also want to add, so that's for the Get Help. So I know that's way more important, but I would like to add on the site is Smart Justice Advocates. So it's not only talking to, we'll put out little blasts. We don't put much out because we're not trying to email blast people and whatnot about what we're doing, about if a hearing's coming up, about different things that you can get involved in, and then also receiving input. I would like to say, because I brought up McKinney, so I'm gonna bring this up again, because this is a lot of senators. We need to have, so we talk about these bills and whatnot, but people need to speak on them. If you cannot be there to speak, because if you don't know, we all have the right to go to the Capitol and speak at these hearings. The interim hearings that are happening now are a little different. We won't get into that now because of time, but we all have the right to go there. But we all don't have the ability because they're in the middle of the day. We're trying to work, whatnot. I happen to be graced with a job where I can be at the right up there doing it. But we have on their site, the legislature's site, access to put public comment in. It might not get read out. Hopefully the senators are all reading it that are on whatever committee. But I tell you this, they at least do. They'll be like, so online we have 20 opponents, 1 proponent. How do you think the senators, when they put out something for the community and it says 2 proponents, 20 opponents, who cares about them opponents? The fact that we need to be speaking on these, even if you're like, I don't know what to say, but I agree with this, then submit a comment and say, I support this.
Right.
That's it. 1 sentence.
That's it. Something. Let these, and I don't care who the senator is. We could despise the senator's politics, but if that person puts a bill out that does some benefit, that bill lives beyond that senator. We should support that. Watch it. They will amend stuff in. So if it gets amended and if you say like, hey, I thought you guys supported this, why are you trying to kill it? That probably means they wrote some stuff into it. They wrote some stuff into it. Right. But absent that, we need as a community, all of us, to be supporting these efforts. I would like, so I know we're ending. I would like to say, it's been hard. So I got a few of the successes we had, because most of our bills are like the hard bills that like solitary confinement, restrictive housing, which does nothing but harm. It sounds good when they preach why they use it, but it does. So that's a long-term battle, but that's something that needs to end. That's something that has alternatives to the use. But for as far as successes, we talked about felonies and voting. We got they years ago, the advocates and the senators and whatnot got the right for individuals to be able to vote who have a felony, but they put this 2-year waiting period after you're done. And after you're done means if I get out now and I got 10 years of parole, I get done with parole in 10 years, and then I got to wait 2 more years. And the justification is we just want to make sure you're being good before you vote. So, that's one of the justifications. Well, the advocates came together, ACLU and senators, and got LB 20 passed, which eliminated that 2-year arbitrary waiting period. And having been in the system because of that, that's the first time I ever voted in my life. And there's I have a long thinking process around that, because I'm also a person that the system's not meant for me. So I don't participate in it. I don't learn nothing about it. And then critical thinking comes around as like, the system's not meant for me, but why they don't want me to vote? Why they don't want me to participate in this? Why is there these new laws that's keeping me out of this? Maybe I should stop participating in what they're trying to get me to do, not be involved.
That's the point. That's the point.
You said it right, man. That's the mic drop moment right there. You said it.
Yeah. And then also we've gotten just a couple of things. We got, as I said, we got a few people out of the detention centers because they weren't trying to give them, they would say, okay, the judge would be like, you got bond. And then ICE, whatever they had going on was like, nope. And then we had to fight them to get them out. And now they're putting new laws, but we got people like woman with several kids. Like, what? This is what we're doing? Why people are saying immigrants don't belong here. Like, this is what we're doing.
And when they picked up from her while she's working from her job.
Yeah. And then sometimes I've heard from our own people, and I understand that because I've been inside, so we know there's a lot of racial conflict. It's like a lot of the Latino people hate black people. Man, we better than that, bro. And when you get next to people, you learn like that changes quickly with all people when you start connecting. So we better than that. So this is our fight. This is a shared fight. This is our fight. Also, sentencing mitigation for those who've been sex trafficked, abused, etc. People don't necessarily commit crimes because they're being bad. Right. Trauma comes in, not knowing what a poor choices, life. And then independent drug testing in prisons. And if you didn't know, they had this testing going on where they would just swipe your stuff and it was coming up or positive all the time, real quick. So people are losing like legal work. And once you know, if you have bad intentions that, oh, if I use this, I'm going to get the results I want. And I just confiscate things and I take you a good time. And when you try to go parole, try to get out, they're going to be like, oh, you don't even like to stop using drugs, all these consequences. So this gives the opportunity to put it to an outside lab to say, hey, validate this or show that, as I'm saying, is like, this is not a true positive test. And so, and I could go on to some other stuff, but the greatest thing we got is community involvement. And that's what I'm asking here is like, I've got put in here in community involvement. I got in, volunteering. Years ago, I started the Ernest Jackson movement. I don't know if I'm happy about that because that brother is going through it in here. I think you guys know about Ernest Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be a conversation you should bring some people on for. Is the word coming out is they're just going in on that brother. Instead
what do you mean? He's being abused?
Man, he's got stripped of jobs. He's getting stripped of everything. He can't get, because of the juvenile thing in Alabama rule, he got his life sentence got changed to a number, even though they did him wrong on how they did the number. That number is reachable now. That's like 2029, he'll be eligible. But it's a system. He can go to, right now, if they chose, he could go to work release. He could go to OCC and minimum security. I don't understand why the director is not. Maybe he's not aware of what involved, but that's where the community comes in. It's like, hey, if you don't want to believe, if you're not the court and you can't go and rejudge, you've seen this case. Send this brother to a better institution and see how he behaves. But get him out of NSP because NSP is dog walking him.
Thank you for that information. We would definitely be looking into this and talking to some more folks on that tip.
Yeah, shout out to Medicine Song. Shout out to all the Lincoln fam that's been, pushing the line with Brother Ernest Jackson. We ain't forgot about you.
Man.
No, you haven't. I hear y'all, brothers. You sound just when you guys get to going. So I know you talk about your rants, but when you guys get to going, I think of me looking at the older brothers like, oh my God. Look at this brother, like, oh, and then later on looking at the older brother like, dude, this is my big bro right there.
Right.
Yeah. So I thank you guys for having me on. I apologize if I ran it because I wanted to get to some real points, but I think we did get to some real points. Yeah, read.
Stolen legacy, you got them.
Change our lives.
Yeah, bro. We would definitely get you back and get on some real points for sure. We'll have you on a little bit earlier, so we got a little bit more time as well, and we'll definitely have you back. We really appreciate you coming through. I was hoping that this session would be a session of our community that don't know you, just to get to know you. So I think that was successful. Know where you're coming from, know what your intentions are, know the kind of work you're doing.
Gotta have you back.
Yeah, man, you got to come back because we got many things to dig into, and appreciate you being a link too. I know that you got activist blood. You're doing your thing. A lot of stuff that you're doing is on your name, and a lot. And then even though you do stuff for the ACLU, you're not always speaking for the ACLU that way. So I really understand, where you're coming from with all of that. But I think we're going to do a good job of trying to parse some of that stuff out because we want to hear the successes, we want to hear the fights, and we also want to hear your activism. Your journalism is activism in a big way. You talked about they called you what did they call you before? Wild J?
Little Crazy J, yeah.
Little Crazy J. I see your Facebook name now is J Renewed. Says it all. J Renewed says it all. So I'm glad we're getting to know you. Yeah, super powerful, man. Right. And I'm glad that you're doing the work. it's such a natural progression when you're in a situation and you're able to read, you're able to get yourself out of that situation, and now you're going to try to help others do the same because you see what it is. And we don't
Yeah,
got to spend 5 shows getting us all on the same page about what's the system is made for the system to do what it does, and part of what it does is keep us uninvolved.
Man.
Like you said, like that was the mic drop moment for me with you was when you're just like, oh, I don't want to keep participating in how they want me to participate, which is not participating.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We have to participate. We got to get it going. So, Mashima Jenkins says Jason is the GOAT for real.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
some love in the chat, man, for real.
Yeah, it's sorry to cut. I want to pile on to that because it's hearing you talk about your story and hearing you talk about your perspective and where you come from is kind of upon my heart right now to pour into you because I don't see your past when I'm looking at you. I don't. Your story that you just told me, I'm floored because I didn't see that. When I look at you, I see somebody doing good.
thank you.
When I look at you, I see that redemption. I see the good that's in all of us. Don't believe the nonsense that they try to tell us because you're right. That's the point. They trying to get us to forget that we are God together. It's in us. And everything that is happening in society is trying to thwart it, is trying to kill it, is trying to stop it. We are all powerful together. Everything that is happening in society is trying to divide us. Understand that. Keep working. We'll bring you back. Love you. Thank you.
Much love, brothers. Much love,
Right
fam.
on, man. Much love, much love. Appreciate
Thank
you,
you,
bro.
community out there. I am not unique in this aspect. It's
No.
community that built me.
I see me when I see you. That's the point.
That's real. We're gonna end it there, man. Thank you so much for coming. We'll definitely have you back soon, and even off site, man. We need to catch. We need to holler. We need to get together and just live alive with one another, vibe out, and get to know each other even more. I feel like you're gonna be a major. You are a major player right now in a lot of what's happening in the city. Your name keeps coming up. ACLU keeps dropping help, science. And that's what it is. Reggie Miller Jenkins says Jason's one of the best humans I've had the privilege of calling a comrade. He's an amazing advocate, father, community member, and all around human. He deserves this airtime. You're gonna get more airtime from us for real, bro. I like Buddy said, I see you in us for real, big way. So we're gonna do it again soon. In the meantime, between time, bro, you take care of yourself, man. Thank you so much for coming.
Peace and love.
Thanks, Nana.
Peace, peace, peace. We're gonna get out of here. We are already way past the time, and before RG and everybody here, yeah, before they start talking about it, 3-hour show.
Hey man, they hold on to us all day if they could, but
All
I'm
day.
here for it. I love it. I love it.
Yes,
I could be here all day if I could.
If I could, yeah, man. And if we got a lot of material to put together for Channel 7 and Channel 3 to steal. So hey, there it is. Appreciate that. Thank you for joining us on the show. We definitely gonna get out of here. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Yeah, man. I will echo what I just said to Brother Jason to all of you out there. Again, you're capable of creating a change, and we're more powerful together than apart. This rugged individualism is a lie.
Man.
We need each other. We need each other. Also, watch what's going on in the UN. Countries are paying attention. Countries know who we are and what we're dealing with here in this country. And society, the human family, the human story is moving forward. Are you going to get left behind? Are you going to get with the times? Peace is the order of the day. These same wars that are going on around the world are being perpetrated by the same people for the same reasons: oil and power. Educate yourselves, believe in yourselves, believe in each other. Let's keep it moving.
Let us absolutely do that, man. I was looking for a quote. It's interesting that what we were talking about the other day. There's been a big shift in the way that we're doing things on this show. We're not going to talk anymore about how crazy everything is and all that. Like we know what the deal is. It's time to really kind of some action. It's time for really to move the needle and to really jump in a big way. It's really time for us to do that. And I'm looking at everything that's happening. We definitely need to talk about some more stuff coming up on Friday. How things are going to be affected with us in the shutdown that's happening in the city. This is today. The government is shut down. What
Man,
that means, 700,000 jobs. What the administration is going to do about all that? We're going to need to be here for each other in that way, in the way of more resources, more programs are going to get taken away, and we need to take care of ourselves and take care of each other even more so than ever because of what's happening here. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. So stay tuned for more of those conversations. Like I said, at this point with this show, this is what we're doing, and we're going to be strategic about it. I blocked 2 users today. There's going to be more blocking of users. There's going to be different places that we go to have these discussions. There's going to be places that we go that are more private, or we're trying to activate our own website because the communication is going to get blocked. The communication is heading in the direction in this administration, especially where it's not going to be just easy to get on a Facebook or a TikTok or a YouTube and be able to have some free discussion. So we're trying to make some moves on that now so we can keep this whole situation. Man, shout out to Sherman Wells for coming and reminding us about why we're the reporters of our neighborhoods. It's us giving us inside information on how some of the mainstream news treats stories of ours. And everything else that's going on, man. It's here. It's here, and it is what it is. We got lots more to talk about. We're going to come back and get into it in a big way. But I just want to make sure that everybody understands where we're at now. There's no more. What is the world coming to talk? It's we're here now, knowing what it is, knowing that what where we're in, and how we're going to have to get together and battle it. That's all there is to it. And these different lanes, these different players, man. ACLU definitely is a lane for us to make some kind of change, some kind of revolutionary movement. And they've been on the front lines on that. So and they're built and made of people. If they're made of people like Jason, who have a vested interest in what's happening here and understands and comes from being a part of what's been happening to him is indicative of a lot of people in our society right now. The things that are happening to him and to us. Then if we can build organizations that can fight that, then here we are, and that's what it is. So we gotta get busy on that. This is a week of revolutionaries. And to be honest, Leo Lewis will be a special guest on our show on Friday, so stay tuned for that. It's Love Supreme Friday. We're going to be talking about the movie and the documentary that he's in, but I like the fact that we have a week of revolutionaries.
man.
This week, the new First Sky Omaha has been invented.
It's been born.
This week, the Buddy Blast has been labeled. This week, Brother Kasim came on. The revolutionary Brother Kasim came on to speak about something that thousands of people now have seen because of him coming on the show. This week, we've had Jason Witmer, who is a person who is working with ACLU now, but has been strongly activist in the scene in a big way. Sherman Wells, community and worldwide activist, and a person who is taking care of the people in a boots to the roots way, along with the coalition building. And then we'll have another revolutionary, Leo Lewis, on the show on Friday.
Man.
So this is a pivotal week for First Sky Omaha, and we appreciate you guys being here. We appreciate all of the chat chimers, especially, who's been with us since the Mind and Soul days. We still got people from Mind and Soul days that's here with us. We also very much appreciate all the new listeners, all the new ghost listeners and chat chimers as well. But we are going to give some big props to the chat chimers that's been here every 3 days a week for years now, chiming in and bringing some information and going along with this discussion, this conversation. That's what this is about. So we appreciate you. We're going to keep on going, and we'll let you know first when we start to move some things around in order to keep this strategic communication going, and then we'll bring the world with us.
Man, Marianne Williams, thank you. Thank you. Shout out to all the youth speaking up, standing up around the world. Listen to what Burkina Faso had to say at the UN. Colonialism is out. The people around the world are standing up. The people around the world are standing up. See you on Friday.
See you on Friday. We want to thank the Umaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land. We want to thank our elders for allowing us to speak with you, and thank you, speak before you, excuse me. And I want to thank you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you. Really appreciate you very much. Shout out to Pops. Wow, what a show. Great guests and conversation. Chat chimers, get down. See you all on Friday. Stay safe out there. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. We'll see you on Friday. Take care of yourselves. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious, this is protected by the Red